All right, guys, welcome back to the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast, episode 282. I'm your host, Rick Shiels. I'm here with co-host Guy. First off, apologies.
For?
Just being real scumbags.
Yep, correct.
Being real, horrible, nasty scumbags.
Wow.
Last week, we made a big mistake. And listen, I don't even know who to blame. I'm blaming you, actually, Guy.
Yeah, okay, blame me.
We let everyone down last week. And there was letters, emails, phone calls.
My dad wasn't happy.
Text messages.
My dad was fuming.
I mean, we are literally public enemy number one right now. We didn't release a Clubhouse episode, and we said we would.
Yep.
And the truth is,
never trust a man who doesn't follow through on his promises. That's what they always said.
we forgot. Genuinely, we had a busy week getting loads of things caught up. I've been away in America. We just had loads of things catching up. We apologise. Listen, we can come up with a million different excuses. Truth be told, I was playing too much paddle. I was paddling away all week, and I've actually set up behind the scenes a paddle podcast, and I was doing that instead.
And you've suddenly got a really big right forearm and bicep. So you've either been playing a lot of paddle or something else.
I played another game of paddle.
Did you
I'll
win?
come on to that in a bit. I'm still yet victorious.
What's your handicap at paddle? Are you breaking 100 yet?
I said I think the first time I played, if I was to put it into a golf scenario, okay, it was like I played golf for the very first time without picking up a golf club, and I shot a 95.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that doable?
A couple of fresh air shots,
Wow.
but I feel like I shot a 95.
Wow.
Last week I shot 120. Had a real bad game.
Paddle for
and
you.
Do you know what it was?
Nope.
Been watching too much paddle on YouTube.
Correct. Don't watch whatever sport you play on YouTube. It ruins your
I was
game.
watching way too much paddle on YouTube, and I've got these grand ambitions now of turning semi-pro.
Have you got a favourite paddle YouTuber?
The channel I've been watching is called Everything Paddle.
Oh, nice.
So that's simple,
Yeah.
to the point.
I like Peter Paddle. He's my favourite.
But yeah, no, really good week, everybody. I hope everyone is out there. You know, I was going to say, hope everyone out there is safe, being safe, but I don't know what from. Just the world. The world can be a scary place.
Who lie to you about how often they upload. Those pesky podcasters.
The world can be a scary place sometimes, but yeah, we plan on doing a podcast Clubhouse episode straight after this. That's what we normally do. We were being brave. We were being a bit ambitious. We overpromised and under-delivered, which we will not do again. However, what I feel like has been delivering at the moment is YouTube golf content. It is going AWOL at the moment. Like, there's banger after banger YouTube videos being released left, right and centre. We've got arguably one of our biggest videos of the year coming out on Friday at 4 p.m, which will involve the 6 characters that were over in South Carolina at Selena, which we talked about last week. So me, Pete, Bryan Bros, Grant, Fat Perez, unbelievable video coming out Friday, not to be missed. Clear your diaries.
Yep.
Friday evening, clear your diaries. If you had plans, cancel them.
Imagine there's some young lad listening, or girl, who is 25, right? Just come out of uni, got the first job, doing quite well for themselves. They've got a hot date set up for Friday night.
Cancel it.
They've met the potential love of their life.
Cancel it.
Hot blonde.
Either cancel it, or work out a way where you go for some food early, or go to the bowling, or whatever these kids do now. Go and do a TikTok dance when they're on a date.
Yeah.
But make sure you're back and get her prepared, get her ready for this future life of you watching YouTube content, because it's going to be a close to 3-hour epic banger. And I mean the golf YouTube video.
Not the after the date. Imagine how good that would be if you had that kind of date.
But there you go. Almost 3 hours YouTube, the first ever major we've had on the channel.
Can you give me some advice? If I'm a viewer of the channel, which I am, how would you advise me to best navigate a 3-hour-long video? Is it one big chunk, or is it 2 1.5 hours? Is it 6 30-minuters?
Well, I had this dilemma on Friday, okay, because a video that went out, which we are going to talk about, was the Bryan Bros video that went out on Friday, and that was another 3-hour banger, okay? Now, spoiler alert. Right now, I'm going to give you the biggest spoiler alert in the world. If you have not watched that video, you don't want to know the result of that video, skip forward. If it's on YouTube, we'll put a chapter in, ready to jump over to the next chapter. If you listen to audio, probably give it 5 to 10 minutes before we stop talking about this video, because it's going to be spoiler alert. if you have watched that video, hopefully you really, really enjoyed it. But to answer your first question, to watch a 3-hour banger, I sat down on Friday, probably about 10 p.m. at night. Okay. I know you'd already be tucked in,
100% would be.
10 o'clock, I was ready to watch Netflix. I went, the Bryan Bros video's gone out, the skins match. I clicked on it, I was like, wow, it's 2 hours 52. I was like, I'm not going to watch it all now. There's no chance I'm going to watch it all now. I watched every single minute.
Even though you were there live.
Even though I was there live. Because even though I was there live, what was fascinating about this video is everybody was in their own buggy cams. So I never got to see what everybody else actually thought about me. No, I'm joking. That's not really why I watched it all. I watched it because it was a gripping, entertaining video. Even though I was there live and I know the result, actually watching it on YouTube and you sprinkle a bit of music and you sprinkle a bit of tension and you see other people's reactions, because often when you're actually hitting a shot, obviously on videos, you'll know, like you're not seeing everyone else's reactions. So I just thought the whole idea of it was brilliant. There was a real $100,000 put up as a prize. This is real cash, real money, and it was put up by Your Health, which is a health company in America which are partnered with the Bryan Bros on the golf course at Selena. They also had 4 spot prizes, charity spot prizes of £5,000 or dollars each for nearest the pins on the 4 par 3s, which went to great causes. I managed to win one of them. It went to It's Never You charity, which obviously I've done support with in the past when I've run the marathons. But again, huge spoiler alerts. Can't stress that enough. Let's talk a bit about the golf and actually what happened. So I was quite excited about this video, okay, because I know in skins, you don't have to be the best player to win.
Correct.
You have to make the
step up at the right time.
Yeah. You've got to capitalize on your opportunities.
Correct.
If you blow up on a hole, it doesn't really matter. So it kind of suits my golf a little bit, to be honest with you. I know I can throw in a handful of birdies every now and again, and I know I'm going to throw in 2 or 3 doubles, but it didn't really matter with this format. As long as 2 other competitors, and it was a really good group of golfers, would tie a hole, the money would roll over onto the next. And as long as I gave myself opportunities when I could, the first 3 or 4 holes were really nervy, really kind of like quite etchy. There was $5,000 available on each and every hole. On the first hole, I had an outside range to win the first skin, just missed that. Second hole, Wes could have won the second skin on the second hole. The third hole, it was between Grant and George that could have won the third skin. They tied it. And it went through to the 4th hole where there was $20,000 available on that hole. $20,000. Again, spoiler alert. We're going to tell you what happens here. So,
TV's gone off.
At this point, I'm kind of like cruising. I'm actually playing okay. I've not been in the holes that much, but I'm not playing too bad. I managed to hit a good drive down the fairway. I managed to hit a great iron shot into the green to about 12 foot. Grant was playing really, really well. He actually played great all day. He got very unlucky, to be honest. He ended up putting it to about 10 foot. So I had the first putt, this slippery one down the hill, managed to box it. So I was in for birdie. Yeah. Grant then, his putt slid by. I'd picked up the first 4 skins, $20,000. First 4 skins. And then after that, I'm not going to give the rest of the result away because the rest of the video is fantastic if you've not seen it. From that point, I was just cruising. So I was like, I'm done. I've made
25 grand.
20 grand on that one. It was like, I've kind of made my money, on that day. Like, because me and Pete were trying to work it out. If you split 100,000 by 6 of you, it's about $16,000. So I felt like to breaking even though it wasn't our money to break even on, but breaking even to have your almost fair share of the money, you've got to get to like 16k.
Yeah,
I'd got to 20k and I was like, I'm going to cruise for the rest of the game. There was one more surprise on the 9th, which I won't give away again, but it was fantastic. Really, really good. Definitely, I had feelings over shots that I'd not felt before. Like, it was like, it wasn't nerves, but it was like this level of like, you don't want to get ahead of yourself and think you're going to hold a putt and then suddenly you're going to win this money. Like, I've never played for that much money before, and it just does feel a bit different.
Can you imagine? Does that make you think even more so about these guys that are journeyman pros on, the DP World Tour who have to hold that putt, not only to win the money, but then to pay the mortgage for the next 6 months?
But it's not only that for them, it's the round of golf they've got to put together. Like mine, truth be told, I played 2 really good holes at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are playing 72 holes, really good 72 holes at the right time. Like, that's the difference. I did feel fairly clutch, so to speak. I did at certain points. I felt really proud of myself in certain aspects. I thought, I was possibly the person tipped to make the least amount of money if I was to even win a single skin. And the fact I won so much was I was like really proud. And hopefully the viewers and audience that we have here are kind of proud, as proud of me as I played it. Because I was like, I'm doing that. I'm kind of doing it to show that I can actually play great golf as well. But like you say, out on tour, and you've got to, there's so many stresses and worries. How are you going to pay your caddy? How are you going to pay your management? How are you going to pay your travel? All of these things. It must be really, really difficult. And it brings us really nicely on to kind of what happened on the DP World Tour this week. Because a very unlikely, and I'm not taking this away from the player, a very unlikely winner ended up winning the Abu Dhabi Championship this weekend.
Correct. So Paul Waring won this weekend, you're right, the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship at Yazlinks, your friend of mine, a golf course we've played at on the channel. What was the video called? Do you remember? Was it like a Break 75?
Like best golf course in UAE.
What a golf course it is, by the way.
It's unbelievable. Yazlinks, unbelievable. Such a great course.
Yeah, unreal. And you look at some of the scores that were getting posted this week at that golf course, and sometimes when you see these scores getting posted, they're unbelievable. But when you've played the golf course yourself and seen how some of these holes can cause you to have an absolute disaster, and you see these guys shooting 61s and stuff, I just don't understand how it's humanly possible. I really don't. But yeah, Paul Waring won. He finished 24 under, 2 ahead of Tyrrell Hatton, who has come back onto the DP World Tour and absolutely killing it. Paul Waring is, I think he's 39 years old, turned pro in 2007 off +5, and he's won once on the DP World Tour a few years ago. He's a name that I've been aware of because his caddy, Alex Evans, dipped his toe in the world of YouTube. I think he's actually got about 10,000 subscribers. He's done a little bit here and there, and some of his content is and was caddying for Paul Waring.
He was also almost trying to play himself a little bit, wasn't he?
I'm guessing they grew up together, because I know that Paul Waring's based over there, and not based, but was from kind of the Birkenhead, Wirral kind of area. I think that's where obviously Alex Evans is from as well. What a story it is for them two, I guess, kind of growing up and playing golf together. I think that's the story. I'm kind of guessing on that. And then obviously going on to caddy and winning 1.4 million euros, which is absolutely incredible. And you look at that leaderboard as well, it's a pretty stacked leaderboard. Top 10, you've got Tom McKibben, kind of friend of the channel, Matthew Jordan, Tommy Fleetwood, Rory, Matt Wallace, Torbjorn Olsen, Hatton, and several others as well. What a leaderboard. I was looking as well, what's crazy is Paul Waring at the age of touching 40, obviously he's been around forever, he's only played in 7 major championships. Wow. So you think about someone like that who, he's only played in 7, which is 7 more than I'll ever playing, obviously, but played in 7 majors. So, although kind of established on tour, still not had all these experiences that some of the other people have had. Like, you think about Rory going down the last few holes, who's done everything. There's someone like a Paul Waring who hasn't. To still have that composure to shoot a 6 under par and win, it's pretty impressive.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, we played quite well around Yazlinks. We shot a 73. I shot a 73 1 over. You shot a 77 5 over.
Wow.
These guys shot 6. Does Paul shot 61?
Yeah, so he went
11 under.
Well, this is the thing as well. Another kind of side topic to this. We get emails and questions all the time of people saying, I want to get more consistent at golf. And I get it, we all do. But is consistency actually a thing? Because you look at Paul Waring's scores, 64, 61, 73.
Which is weirdly what I shot.
Yeah. 66. You look at that and think, I know he's still gone to win the tournament and you can have consistency over a season, I guess, making cuts. But imagine being, currently, this week just gone, quite obviously, Paul Waring was one of the best golfers on the planet. Of course he was. He won this tournament, which is a massive tournament on the DP World Tour. But yet, Friday, he's gone 61. The very next day, 73. Now, obviously, there's things like pressure and the attention and all that kind of...
Hangovers.
Yeah, hangovers, I'm sure. All play the part. But if those guys can have a 12-shot swing and then reverse it back, thankfully 7 shots the better way, the mere mortal who sometimes can break 100, no wonder they then go out and shoot 125 one week.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of things from this story for me, real takeaways, is like you say, it feels like it's a name that a lot of people know, but also a huge chunk of people would have probably, again, no disrespect, wouldn't have heard of Paul Waring, just because, like I say, his win ratio on tour isn't like, vast. It's not like he's won loads of times on tour. There's 2 things for me. He's in incredible shape, and I know how hard he practices and hit balls. I've seen that from his videos that he used to make with Alex. His swing has really developed. I mean, if you didn't, like, he looks like he swings just like Alex Noren.
Yeah.
Almost looks like they've got the identical same swing. He hit some really ballsy shot under the pressure. Like, he had to only par the last to win the tournament. Hits a great drive and then goes for the green in 2. Mm-hmm. That could have ended up disastrously. It didn't. He rolled over the back and he put it on and then, held the birdie. He actually birdied 17 and birdied 18. What this does for his future, it secures his place on the DP World Tour for a long time. He's now a Rolex winner, which obviously massively puts a price injection into his bank account, which helps him obviously into his future. I believe he lives in either Dubai or Abu Dhabi now as well. So like that was almost his home golf course or as one of his home venues.
One other big thing as well, puts him currently in place for PGA Tour card.
Wow. So going back to this idea of he might, if only played in 7 majors, again 7 more than you and me put together, but over the next few years he might play in 7 in the next 2 or 3 years potentially if everything lines up.
I get a broader conversation that's maybe not for right now, but does that, I know the whole point now of the DP World Tour, it kind of is, if we're being honest, to feed a tour to the PGA Tour, but let's just say now, and I hope this is the case, that Paul Waring goes on this incredible run, then he may already have decided, if he could do, to join the PGA Tour. But now that he essentially, as long as he doesn't slip, he's guaranteed a PGA Tour card. The DP World Tour literally are feeding the best players onto the PGA Tour, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you lose, I mean, I think as well, I'm sure Tom McKibben is up there or was up there. Might be wrong, actually. Did he get one last year, actually, Tom McKibben? I think he might have done. But you're looking now, you've got Thurston Lawrence. Is it Thurston or Thurston? No, it's Thriston, is it?
I think it's Thriston.
You've got Rasmus Højgaard, Paul Waring, Nicholas Norgard, Manacero, who's obviously come back into great form, Tobin Olsen, all currently, Jordan Smith. I think Tom McKibben's just fell out, actually, of that space. Of having a PGA Tour card. That is a lot of golfers to kind of give up, isn't it?
You know what's quite interesting? How many of them genuinely want to do it? To go on to PGA Tour? I know it sounds like but you say that, but like, these guys, Paul Waring, I'm not saying he doesn't or does, but like a lot of them might be quite settled. The families have settled in UK or Europe or Abu Dhabi or whatever it may be. They've got to literally uplift the whole life to go and now do the PGA Tour, which I know can be very, very, very lucrative, 100%. But you're still going to be making cuts. You're still going to be making, like, it's not a guaranteed. It's not like, there you go, there's 10 million in your back pocket just for playing PGA Tour next year.
You're right, but I suppose the only difference with, like, similar to like footballers with a golfer is they've had that life, haven't they? From turning pro, you're living out of a suitcase, you are kind of going wherever the money is, you go into different events. Maybe it's different with your family. But I think it's almost like when you see very, very established DP World Tour players, they themselves have travelled all over Europe. They obviously have events now, obviously in the Middle East and everything. There's a lot of travel regardless, isn't there?
Yeah, but it is, but to some degree, if you've done many years on the DP World Tour, European Tour, you're kind of used to that lifestyle. Like, you literally now it's a completely different shift in life.
Was it Robert McIntyre at first wasn't enjoying it when he first went over there, I believe?
Yeah, exactly. Like, people get homesick. Understandably, people don't like it. Like, Paul might have great friends on the DP World Tour. I'm using this as an example. What I'm trying to get to is, like, yes, it's this pathway, but is it every player's preferred choice? Like, would actually, and sounds daft. Are they allowed to kind of say, no, it's not for me? I don't actually know. But anyway, congratulations to Paul. It really reminds me of the Robert Rock story when he ended up beating Tiger in the same event many years ago, and it was a different golf club, Abu Dhabi Golf Club, when he ended up fending off Tiger Woods to win the tournament. And it was his legacy, wasn't it, really, Robert Rock's, let's be honest. Yeah. It's the thing that he's really known for. This could definitely happen with Paul Waring in hopefully we'd love to have him on the podcast. Like, this is his story to be able to tell his grandkids, I beat Rory McIlroy, I beat Tommy Fleetwood, I beat Tyrrell Hatton, and he's got the all the plaudits for doing so. What
I would love to see, I don't think this could ever happen, and it would be difficult to make it happen, but it would be unbelievable.
My leaked pictures.
Yeah, well, anytime. They're rubbish. Smaller than I thought. The pictures, the collection, thought there'd be loads. If there was a documentary, if the DP World Tour I don't know how they would do it, but let's say you've got a name in a big event who isn't necessarily someone who'd expect to win. So after round 1, when Paul Waring shot his 64, the cameras are right, okay, we're going to film this.
So hard, though,
well, yeah, but this would be my dream. If they could film it, get Alex again, his caddy, to film a bit or whatever. And then when he wins, or even if they do it after he's won, so there's nothing to put him off, even the next day, what is he doing today? Is it a case of back to the driving range, hitting balls and grinding? Is it a case of some incredible celebration? Is he going to go and ring his bank and pay off his mortgage like that? Like, what do these people do? Like, when Rory wins, or Scotty Scheffler, no disrespect to those guys, but I'm not that bothered because they win all the time. It's great for them, but I'm not thinking, what's Rory doing today?
They have to find room on the trophy shelf.
Well, exactly, but genuinely now, what will Paul Waring and his caddy, who have also made a handsome amount of money, what will they be doing this week?
Enjoying life.
Yeah. Can you imagine
like you say,
that?
I saw a clip it, and I'm giving this with no context whatsoever, like literally at all. But I saw a clip it recently of Danny Willett talking about how after he won the Masters, if I'm not mistaken, he went out for a run the next morning
Just to clear his head.
Yeah, but like
in $20,000 running shoes and a green jacket.
The thing is, you don't get that. It's not like you instantly get that money. It's not like what does that next week look like? Like, who rings you? Like, who was it? Who was it now that like had a text from like Michael Jordan when he won an event?
That was it not Fitzpatrick? Was it
someone? Yeah, was that in the Netflix
Might
show?
Have been somebody
I feel like it was. But like, what happens in that next? If you literally had cameras on you, but then would you want cameras on you?
No. Do you think Danny Willett would be the perfect golfer to be? In a sense of, he's got a green jacket. He will be going to Augusta National until he retires, or maybe even beyond that, and obviously wants to go and play in the Par 3 tournament. Having those championship dinners, nobody can take that away from him. He's had an established career on the DP World Tour. But actually, he could walk down the street and nobody would ever give him any hassle. He could go on holiday wherever he wants. He might occasionally get stopped in a sunbed and say, "Oh, hiya, Danny Willett," or whatever. As a rule, his life, he's not like a Premier League footballer who can't go anywhere. But yeah, he's obviously absolutely minted and he's got a green jacket.
I've yet to watch it, but 11 days ago, he did a podcast with a DP World Tour. So George Harper Jr. is doing a podcast, and he did it actually with Nicholas Kolstad. I think that's where I saw this clip from. I'm going to watch that video this week. And from what I've seen, I don't think he's content.
He wants more.
Because, yeah, only for the few little snippets of clip I've seen, and I almost even just saw the trailer, when you hear the sound bites, I don't think he's content. And I kind of get that. Like, does Danny Willett, when he first started professional golf, is that how his career?
I think he'd take it, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure he's not wanting to give back his green jacket. I know that for a fact. But like, does he feel like there could have been more? I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to say.
I think for me, and I know it's bad to rank the majors, but I think you can in some situations. If you were, a really strong PJ Tour level player and you win one major and it is the PJ Championship and you come second in loads of others, I reckon you might have that little thing of like, I've not quite scratched the itch. But if you've won the Masters or the Open, I think even more so the Masters, with that kind of real heritage and what it means going forward as well, and the Champions Dinner and everything, I think that must be a good feeling.
I'll tell you which golfer I would looking at this and who I think would be a real good contender for like the perfect Tour Pro life.
Okay, give me a clue. just hit me with it.
Ernie Els.
Ernie Els, wow.
I feel like he achieved a lot. Like a lot. He's won 4 major championships.
Yep.
Won the US Open in 94, 97, the Open in 2002, 2012. I mean, he came second in the Masters. That's the only one. Maybe a Masters win you'd want. Yeah, maybe it's not Ernie. I've gone off already.
I do like Danny Willett. Just nice, isn't it? Because Rory's the one, although Rory's career is unbelievably decorated, he will be the one, if he retired tomorrow, which obviously he's not going to, but if he retired with his current resume, he's the one you're thinking, I should have had so many more.
Yeah, and also, but it depends, what are we ranking it on? Is it this idea that victories, you've won majors, you've achieved your goals, money, you set up for life, but also this kind of almost what's the word? Incognito.
I think it's almost a case of twofold. It's doing the most out of the talent you have and really maximising your potential, but yet also being able to live a nice life. I think a lot of golfers, to be fair, bar Tiger, can live a normal life. I think Tiger's the only one who, in certain places in the world, would just not be able to live because of how famous he is. I think even Rory. I bet Rory could go to Trafford Centre tonight and not get bombarded at all.
He wouldn't get bombarded, but he'd definitely get obviously recognised.
You get recognised, but it's not like...
but would Ernie Els go to Trafford Centre tonight?
I reckon that would be one. Well, there might be a few golfers, obviously, but no, it wouldn't be crazy, would it? I don't know. Yeah. We need to think whose life do you want?
What about Ian Woosnam? Like someone like that, he's achieved... I mean, the problem is, he's won the Masters in 91. I think the only thing with Ian Woosnam is everyone would end up talking about the 15th club of all of them. Justin Rose? No, I think I'd want a Masters.
He could still get one.
He could.
Rosie ain't finished.
But right
Neither's
now,
Danny Willett.
Right
now, I'd like to be Justin Rose. And I like him as well.
Oh, he's a
Class him as
guy.
a friend, so...
Rosie.
Feels a bit weird picking Justin,
Rosie.
actually. JR. Do you still call him Rosie on that level?
In my phone, I've just got him as Jay.
I've got him as Jay. I didn't even have his name saved. I've not even got his number. Why do I need his number? Do you know who else won this weekend? I don't know if you've seen this or not. You might
Manchester United.
They did, yeah, 3-0.
Thank you. I went to the match, took the family. It was a wonderful experience.
Bottom half of the table, playoff.
But listen, at the moment, a couple of turns at events, we could be top 4. New manager coming in. I think Liverpool aren't safe now. But anyway, no, it was good.
Yeah, it was great to see you supporting your team.
Proper prawn sandwich grade as well.
Yeah.
Fancy seats, nice meal beforehand. It was good though. I really enjoyed it.
Don't blame you.
Thanks to the guys at Hospitality Worldwide. Unbelievable company. Thank you.
I prefer to go on the terraces of the blood and guts.
It's Worldwide Hospitality as well.
Bernhard Langer won this weekend as well.
He did.
So your good friend, he holed a 30-foot putt on the 18th to win the Charles Schwab Cup Championship. Bit of a mouthful. 2 little stats for you, Rick, that you may know, you may not. He shot his age, or better, 67, 3 days in a row. Round 2, round 3, round 4.
I love him.
And I believe that is now 24 or 26 times he's done that on the Champions Tour. Obviously, does that get harder or easier? That's a question for you. So, for example, if you're
there's going to be a tipping
correct.
point.
If you're 60, to shoot a 59 would be almost impossible. If you're 70, shoot at 69 is possible if you're really good.
I actually think 75 is the tipping point.
But it then gets...
Because how many 75-year-olds are shooting under their age?
No, that's a good point. But what about... Well, what's the youngest age it's possible at? 65 to shoot at 64.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it's also... This is another stat that's crazy. His 18th consecutive year winning on the Seniors Tour, the PJ Seniors Tour. So he's won every year, I think, from 2007... which obviously include that year and get 2024. He's won 18 consecutive years.
What a legend.
You've played with Bernhard Langer. Obviously,
I actually beat him.
You beat him.
I battered him.
So if in reality, he's won 18. It's pathetic, isn't it? Shall I say, oh, well done, clap, clap, clap. Nick Shiels beat you, mate.
I battered you after holing 3 monster putts on you, and you ended up having 9 pars, and I clinged on for dear life.
You're the equivalent of if Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, which he probably will do next weekend because Mike Tyson's pushing 60. You're the Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Well done.
You beat
an old man. Not that Bernhard Langer's an old man, but he's getting on a bit. But what a player he is. And obviously you've had the first-hand experience of witnessing that literally up close and personal. When you watch him play, is it obvious as to why he's been so successful?
He didn't miss a shot.
Yeah.
He doesn't miss a shot. Honestly, it's so impressive to see. And all jokes aside, like when we played with him a couple of weeks ago in Germany with Mercedes-Benz, it was wet, it was cold, it wasn't pleasant. The ball wasn't travelling anywhere. Out in the sunshine, where was it? The Charles Schwab Cup Championship.
America.
Good answer. It was in Phoenix, Arizona.
That's what I said.
Like
America.
Like the ball, he'll be in shorts and t-shirt. He'll be swinging full volume. What was impressive about his round yesterday, he started off with 4 birdies and then 2 more birdies on the front 9 to shoot a 30 going out.
Wow.
He then dropped a couple of shots, but then ended up birdieing the last to win by 1.
I want you to answer this now, honestly. And I know when you're telling the truth or you're trying to be a politician. Based off how you've played recently, do you honestly believe you could be competitive on the seniors tour?
No.
No, okay, fair. I was hoping you'd say yeah, and we could laugh about it.
I can't shoot 8. He shot over 4 rounds, 18 under. Let me just see what even last place would have been.
Yeah, I've not said win, competitive.
Last place over 4 rounds of golf.
It's up to the guys who made the cut.
There wasn't a cut.
All right, okay, there wasn't a cut. Easy.
They shot 8 over.
I reckon you make the cut.
There was no cut.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I don't believe. I think I would shoot that. I'd be happy if I walked
You'd have
off.
to be full 74s.
If I walked off a week's worth tournament, 4 rounds of golf, being 8 over, I'd go, yeah, I'd take that. Thanks. Appreciate that.
So you couldn't be competitive on the seniors tour.
How long are the courses?
Well, there we go. Let's go dig into
No,
the
I'm
facts.
joking. I could not. Definitely not.
More exciting news then. This is obviously, as always, recorded Monday, coming out on a Tuesday. You're listening to this hopefully on a Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. On Tuesday afternoon / early evening, we will be seeing, and Rick will be hitting, the new TaylorMade driver for next year. Now, a couple of caveats to this little segment. We can't say too much about it or anything about it. And actually, as we're recording this, we know literally nothing about it. So we've not seen it yet. We've not any inklings about what it's going to be called or look like.
I know something.
Do you? Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have to share it with me, maybe off podcast.
Yeah, I know something.
But we will be, I know, yeah, I guess I know why you know something. But we'll be seeing it tomorrow, so today. And I'm very excited to see where it will land. We've seen another brand's new driver, which we won't touch on too much. All these videos will be landing on the Hit channel very soon, so make sure you subscribe to Hit Golf. You'll see all these new exciting drivers and fairwoods and irons and whatnot. Every year it feels like more than ever that these brands are, how do they do something new? How do they continue to innovate?
I don't know.
We will see.
I don't know, honestly. Right now, and by the way, what you think I know is not what I know. I know a tiny little bit of something,
Okay.
but it's nothing about the product. I literally don't know what's going to be presented tomorrow by said brand.
The driver?
A driver.
That goes further and longer and straighter.
Am I right in saying all the embargo dates are a little bit later?
I'm not sure. Ben, do you know that?
From what I've seen,
I'm guessing so.
normally the embargo dates are around like the 2nd, 3rd of Jan, which is horrendous.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, they're a little bit later, like more like the 12th, 13th of Jan.
Yeah, it's exciting. And one of the brands, again, I know it's annoying when we can't say too much, but we don't know what we can and can't say really, so best to be safe. But the brand that we saw last week that is launching again in January time, it was a tough one because it was very similar in a lot of ways to the current driver. So most people will see it and probably not even realise it's a new one. Which when we saw that and got presented with that, wasn't super exciting. There was one little bit of technology and it's quite different. And it's kind of like sometimes when brands make something so new and so glossy and so shiny, it's kind of like, why are you trying to pull the wool over our eyes? We know that these drivers can't do much more due to the rules and regulations in place by the USJ and the R&A. So sometimes they then make them more subtle changes, and then it's a bit like, oh, it isn't actually that exciting. So they're kind of somewhat stuck between a rock and a hard place. The one thing for everyone to consider, though, if we're being totally transparent, is all these brands that are bringing out new drivers every single year are doing it to make money. Of course they are. So the actual performance differences very often will be very, very minimal. But if you want a new driver, and if you've not had one new one for 4 or 5 years, and it's maybe a big birthday, or you've been saving up, it's an exciting time. Or you're asking for Santa.
I thought you were going to say, or it's a big Bertha.
It's a big, maybe it is. Maybe the new Callaway Big Bertha. Imagine if they all just stripped it back. Said, right, we're going to get rid of all these stupid names. There's no mad twist face AI generated speed port slot whatever. It's just TaylorMade burner. That's it. Callaway Big Bertha. Titleist. DCI. Right, stripped it right back. Would you like that? Or do you want Titleist to come out with a Titleist spaceship rocket ship AI Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need something,
you
don't
need
you?
a little bit of
as
swag.
much as I totally don't believe any of it, really, you need something to get your teeth stuck into.
It's exciting times.
It is. Feels like a very short episode today.
Have we rocked? Have we rolled? Are we going to save the questions for the? How long are we in, boys?
36.
Oh, it is short and sweet.
Give us fire some questions then.
So, a question for you, Rick, and it's a good one actually. It's from Joe Ainscoe, and he said, which is a better wedge setup? And he said for higher handicap players, but I think we can broaden this out just generically. Is it better to just have two wedges? Have your pitch wedge as part of your set, and then do you go 52, 58, so you've simply got two, or is it better to go for a three wedge setup, something like a 50, 54, 58, or 52, 56, and 60?
I wish it was a simple answer. It really depends on what clubs you need in the top end of your bag. So do you need more woods, you need hybrids, you need longer irons? Because I, at the moment, have four wedges. There's definitely situations where the top end of the set, I have gaps that I could do with another club.
Yeah.
But then if you have three wedges, then you've got that ability to have more clubs in the top end of your set. But then if you are lacking creativity around the greens, you might need three wedges. So it really depends.
Also, what distances are you going to be hitting more, from 80 to 120 or 200 to 240?
Well, that's it. And I think as well, back to he originally said about high handicap players. So typically, if you think of a high handicap or even a new golfer, in that instance, Rick, would you actually say try and just use two wedges so then you do actually save clubs for the top end of the bag?
The other thing with the advantage of having two wedges as a higher handicapper is you only got two choices. Like sometimes, even I look down at my wedges and go, I've got too many choices here. Like,
butter it is.
Like, why? I could do with just less choices sometimes.
Less
so
is more.
I think it really. I do definitely think a lot. Most golfers do need a really lofted club, like a 58 minimum lofted, because you will have circumstances where you need it. But often you can do a lot with a 58 degree. The difference between a 56 and a 60 isn't that much. Like since I've been using my 56 so much more, I almost never use my 60, genuinely.
Bunkers? No, I was thinking to use bunkers. No,
hardly ever. I use my 56 almost all the time now, because I'm now changing the loft of it.
Would you bin it?
I would maybe now be more keen on going 52, 58.
I'd like that.
And putting a longer club in the bag.
Yeah, do it, treat yourself.
What does Lowry use? Is he a 56?
Isn't he a 58 from everywhere, Lowry?
Lowry, yeah, 58 from everywhere.
I like that. That was me as a junior.
Everywhere.
Another question from a great name. I'd like to pitch this guy, Rick, and really elaborate on his name. Not done this for a while. His name is, you ready? Cameron, this is nice, Loader. Cameron Loader.
Oof, I like that.
Good, isn't he? Is he rich? Because it sounds a bit like loaded.
I mean, he could play on words there, couldn't he, really? He's been a member of the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast since the 11th of June 2020.
20? Wow, loaders.
Loads.
I like loaders. His question is, and this is something that I feel personally, Rick, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to think of the word to explain it. Not educated. Doesn't matter, I'll think of it in a minute. But what's everyone's honest opinion on mini drivers? Are they worth it?
I have real mixed thoughts about this. Because I have... they've got a question for you here as well, Ben. Cameron's asked, and when is Ben going to convince you to come to Australia? Some amazing courses down here. We actually did have a potential plan to go in December, but unfortunately it's not going to work out. But
I'm working on it.
Working on it. I've mixed views, because as much as I've still not quite get my head around mini drivers, and this year I feel like I've been more convinced than ever before from my own testing. There's two golfers that have made me convinced that mini drivers have a place. You're one of them.
Thank you very much.
The way you've hit your mini driver when you've had it in the bag genuinely makes me question, why do you even carry a normal driver? Like, I think you've hit it so good this year, but it's not a miracle club.
Correct.
I've also seen you hit bad shots with it. But I think when the confidence is high with it, it's really high.
Yeah.
Like, you literally had a piece of string at certain points of this year. And the other golfer, oddly enough, and I've only seen it on videos, is Micah Morris.
Yeah.
So I've played golf with Micah. He hits the ball so far, it's actually a joke. And with driver, I see him put it in so much trouble when I have played with him. With the mini driver, he still takes advantage of his length, but he's so much more accurate.
Yeah.
So I think for the right golfer, I do think there's a place for it.
I hated them. I thought I didn't understand them whatsoever. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. I don't see it as a mini driver. I see it as a huge 3-wood. And that just changed me. I thought to myself, if I'm struggling with driver, which I do, let's be honest, why do I then want to replace it on the tee with something smaller? Because that's going to take away confidence. However, if you use it when you would often use a 3-wood and think, oh my days, my 3-wood's now become huge. It fills you with confidence. So off a fairway, it's so big, you can really try and almost hit down on the golf ball because the head's so stable through the turf, it just hits it for you. And off a tee, it's kind of like, right, okay, my driver's not quite working. Should I get a 3-wood? Well, actually, I've got a big 3-wood. Just, yeah.
I still think, and we spoke about it not too long ago, I still think there's a real... And I really hope brands bring this out this year, a real importance on bringing out a lofted driver.
Yeah.
And we saw it with the Top Golf driver this year, like make something a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter shafted, more loft. Genuinely, that is the fix for most people's driver issues. Like, I remember when I used to coach at full time at Trafford Golf Centre, I used to have this 16-degree TaylorMade driver in the studio. And if someone was struggling with driver, I'd just say, just give this a hit just out of interest. I wouldn't tell them anything about it. Almost all the time they hit the ball better.
Do you want to know why this isn't a thing? And I completely agree with you, by the way. And from my experience with custom fitting, obviously my old job many moons ago, it's because of the way that people buy golf clubs and it's all done on launch monitors.
Yeah, Seago, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Distance.
So if I used to do it all the time. I asked Nike when I worked for Nike, could they send me some more shafts of all the different mad shafts I had, but shorter? And I had some, I think the shortest I had was either an inch shorter or maybe even 2 inches shorter than stock. I should give that to golfers, put it in a lofted head, and honestly, it would be like a frozen rope, straight. You look at the distance versus either their own driver or another driver who'd given them a few shots before, and inevitably they'd lost a little bit of distance. Maybe not loads, but definitely some. When people are spending their hard-earned cash, they want to buy the driver that goes the longest. Yep. If, however, you did that same fitting and said, right, you would never do this, but go and play 18 holes with your own driver or whatever, now go and play 18 holes again, or even 3 holes with this new driver, I'd almost guarantee they'd shoot a better score with the shorter driver. And they won't be thinking, oh, it was a little bit shorter on hole 3. They'd be thinking, oh, I birdied that hole or I parred that hole.
I still think, though, genuinely, even if they played better, I still think it'd be a hard sale.
You're right, yeah. I think it would.
But I honestly think if a big brand this year made a huge push for lofted drivers, really sold the benefits of a lofted driver and shorter shaft, I think they'd win. And make it cheap. Don't make it expensive. Make it 250 quid, 300 quid. And it is the ultimate... easiest, genuinely easiest club to hit.
The stabilizer.
Loft is your friend.
Yeah.
And that, again, going back to that mini driver point, it's got loft. It's your friend.
Correct.
So, like, I think that brands need to come out with that.
I've got one more. Well, I've got loads more questions, but a good one from an email, actually, while we're on the topic of equipment. It's from Matt Smith. And he says, hello, Rick and Guy. I'd like to congratulate you on an excellent podcast. Thank you very much. One thing that has intrigued me is the amount of time golfers change their putter. And do you think it's worth investing in a new putter? And then he says, as a similar aged golfer, brackets 43, which I took offence to, because you're...
So, I'm less than 43, and you're definitely less than 43.
You've got 10 years on me, mate. Anyway, I have always played golf with an answer putter and found it very easy on the eye and very relatable. After a lengthy break from golf, 20 years, I started from scratch again this year. I don't think I mean actually scratch. I started back. I invested in the golden TR66 Ping Anza putter. I completely understand people want to improve and improve quickly, and they think the investment in a new putter will improve their scores. But for me, finding the solution to deliver the putter face square impact and the right line is more important. So basically him improving rather than swapping his putter. It's been great to see Rick's massive improvement in his putting. Is this down to his £2,000 of fitting, or has he been practicing in the HIT studio? So, a few questions there, Rick, but how have you improved your putting, and should golfers be looking to new putters when they want to improve putting rather than actually practice?
It's really weird at the moment, and I'm glad someone's asked it, because I am literally the greatest putter in the world at the moment.
Someone's asked it.
I was just waiting for this question to come through, to be honest with you.
You, Matt Smith.
Rick, how are you so good looking and so good with the ladies as well, please, mate? Yes.
From Shiels, Rick.
From Nick Shiels. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever putted as good in my life right now. I don't know what I'm contributing it down to. There's probably 3 main factors.
There's a poor custom fitter at Ping going, me.
That fitting, I don't know. It must have worked.
Must have done. It wasn't the most thorough, but maybe it didn't need to be. Maybe they saw what was going wrong and were like, we fixed that. Done.
Yeah. It could be that. I think there's two major factors. I think Ed's helped.
Ed had, wow.
Ed has really helped me.
What's he done?
He's like my own course coach a lot of the time because we're out filming so much. He recognised when I was putting the best, I used aim point.
Right.
Every time. And when I didn't put well, I didn't use aim point. And he said, why don't you use aim point all the time? And I said, okay, I will.
For you put it better.
And so I've really stuck for quite a long period of time now. I've stuck with aim point for a long period of time. The next thing that I've done with my putting is my pre-shot routine is the same every single time now. And it's not complicated, but what I'll often do is I'll line up my line. I've done my pre-shot, I've done my reading of the greens, I've done my aim point. Again, I kind of do my own version of aim point. It's a modified version. I then line my line up. I've been really consistent with that this year. I'll stand next to the ball, really close to the ball, and do practice puts, almost looking at the hole to work out my pace. As soon as I put my putter behind the ball, I hit. There's no hesitation. And I think just those little factors have helped me hole an awful lot more putts this year. And then when you hole more putts, your confidence goes up. And when your confidence goes up, you hole more putts.
Yeah.
So I genuinely think my putting at the moment has never, ever, 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 ever been as good as it is right now.
Touch wood. Do you think, though, that makes perfect sense? That sounds more like, it's a combination of either a good fitting, getting the correct putter, obviously, and then obviously these kind of attention to detail with your stroke and pre-shot routine, etc. But to the question, back to the, I think was it Matt? Sorry, Matt's question. I do also think that actually, as bad as it sounds, and whereas you shouldn't do this a lot, I do think either buying a new putter or borrowing someone else's putter can literally fix you instantly.
100%.
Maybe only for 6 weeks or 6 rounds or 6 holes, but it does feel like, I've done it myself, we just get something new in your hand. It's just like, wow, suddenly it makes sense. It works.
Yeah, listen, I've had enough putters in my time, without question. And I must admit, with putters, I think for me, it's the hardest club to change permanently. I've had a lot of flings with putters.
Yeah, no marriages.
But often I'll go back to the ones that I've really liked. So I had the even roll in the bag for, God, how many years?
And you will go back to that at some point, won't you?
I don't know if I ever will.
Do you think? Well, that's a bold statement.
I think the ping's for me for life.
Wow.
I might have a few flirts, and that's okay. But I think if I ever permanently put a new putter in the bag, something's gone wrong.
Would you follow another putter on Instagram, for example? Would you DM another putter? Have a little, is that a bit? Would you go
at
for
the moment?
Would you go for a drink with another putter?
But at the moment, I don't know if it's the putter that's also helping, or genuinely all those other factors. I mean, I honestly feel like you could give me a £2 putter.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I think I might still be the best putter in the world.
Wow.
So I don't think it's about the tool, albeit I think the tool's brilliant that I'm using.
It's all down to the workman.
I think it's all down to me.
Yeah.
And how good I am.
Well,
I'm sure I'll get slagged off for that, but who cares? But when you're confident with it, you're confident, aren't you?
You are, yeah, and I think that they've said this before again, and I always, if you can avoid it, obviously if you really want a new driver or new irons, most people would have to trade in your clubs to get new ones. I've done that myself many, many, many times. The one thing I do regret, I loved having new putters, is trading other ones in, because there's so many putters I've let go in the day, like an Odysseys or little Scotty Camerons here and there, that I had to swap in order to get a new club. But now I really regret it, and I wish I'd somehow financed them another way. So always, if you can, try and keep hold of your putters, because to Rick's point, you might just go back to a little fling, even just for one round. And I've done that before, actually, where I fell out of love with my Spider, gone back to an old Nike heel toe for one round, hated it on purpose, if that makes sense. Then went back to my Spider, I was like, it feels good to be home.
Yeah, no, I get that. There's one last thing I want to bring up, okay?
Yep.
And it involves someone in this room. Well, they're actually technically in the room next door. I told a story last week, which kind of weirdly, I don't know, ended up being taken the wrong way, really. I told the Ketchup story.
Yes.
And I was really surprised.
So you say you squared up to a waitress?
Don't start fueling the fire. I told this story, and it was literally, I wasn't even... It was just a topic of conversation. I've not seen you. I thought it was a funny little story. It kind of got blown out of hand. I think people felt like I was being quite mean on the waitress. I wasn't. I wasn't my intention. So I just want to make a public apology. I feel like that wasn't quite very genuine. I'm making this worse now. I want to apologise. It wasn't meant to be taken in the way. It was just a funny little story. I kind of sometimes forget that other people listen to this podcast.
You're right, and that's fair dues. But I think the vast majority of people know, certainly the ones who get in the car every week and listen to the episode, it's just a bit of fun. People have known you for long enough to know that you would have been very respectful. It's just that sometimes people listen to the podcast or watch it for the first time or whatever. They don't watch it very often and go, all right, I'll have a go at that. And it's like, it was you obviously wouldn't go up to a waitress and be like, you stupid woman, what are you doing that for? It was just a bit of fun.
And we didn't complain. It was just one of those things. And also, Ben, it made me got thinking later, I owe you a new pair of shorts.
Don't be silly. Firstly, as the owner of some red shorts that were beige, I think the story almost was like it needed a little bit of context. You know, we were there for a week. We were eating lunch and nearly having dinner with these waitresses every day that we got to know really well. We were having lots of laughs with them and stuff. And, you know, at the end of the day, we just laughed about the situation and, you know, it was a funny thing and it's a pair of shorts at the end of the day. And yeah.
Well, I think I've got a pair of trousers that probably fit you as shorts, Ben. Because you're so tall.
I'll take them.
I've now offended all tall people. Anyway, definitely, listen, if that's a story you're getting offended by, I apologise, but it definitely was not my intention. Right.
Little clubby house one, you can explain a bit more depth and a bit more off the cuff.
Yeah.
A bit more chilled out.
Tell you about the mayonnaise story.
Oh, there's a black eye gone.
I tell you what, we actually do need to tell you about a story.
Okay.
That happened in America, which you can only ever see in America.
Ah.
So that is going to come out in the Clubhouse episode because I don't think we talked about this, did we, lads? What was on TV?
Oh,
Don't say it without saying it.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this, have we yet?
It can only ever happen in America.
Right.
Nowhere
So
else.
stay tuned for the Clubhouse episode because we're going to dive into that a lot more detail. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening as always. Be safe. Be clean.
Be clean. Don't let people put ketchup on your shorts.
Don't be dropping ketchup.
If you can't be clean, be careful. That's what they say, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And we shall see you next week. Signing out from the best putter in the world.
And Rick.